So my name is Karl M. I'm a graduate student here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I actually study wildlife ecology, so hunting and the outdoors are really a big part of what I do both personally and professionally. I started hunting in the northern lower peninsula of Michigan when I was growing up on my family's property. And I really got into it because I just loved to be outside in the backyard. And I saw a lot of squirrels and small game around and thought it would be interesting and fun to try to hunt those animals. And I had some friends also who were hunters and whose families had more of a hunting heritage, and managed to go out with them a few times and take hunter safety, which was a really good experience. Till this day I still enjoy hunting small game quite a bit. I've also broadened to hunting deer and turkeys. I even have a pointing dog for hunting upland birds, and nowadays I hunt just as much for my dog as for any other reason, so that's a big part of it. The question of why I hunt sounded like a pretty simple question when it was initially posed, but the more I've thought about it, the longer that the list has become. One of the top reasons is plain and simple, and that's food. In this day and age, there's been a lot of talk of issues like those discussed in the book Omnivore's Dilemma, on where food comes from and sort of the manufacturing of food and factory farming. And the more I think about those issues, the more attractive it is to have a freezer that's stocked up with pheasants and grouse and squirrels and venison and wild turkeys and all these great animals that we have an abundance of here in the fine state of Wisconsin. So in my house, my wife and I, we eat a lot of wild game and we really enjoy it. And we're happy to kind of cut ourselves out of the factory farming, and most of the meat that we get is coming from the fields and forests of our backyard and the surrounding area. Another big reason is my family. I mentioned earlier that I didn't have a lot of hunting growing up with my family, but since I've become a hunter, I've introduced my younger brother to the field, and he has become a hunter, and spending time with him has been amazing outdoors. He still lives in Michigan, but he's made the trip back here a couple of times for deer season and turkey hunting. And this last fall, he got his first buck. He got a beautiful 9-point buck during the deer season, which was a hunting memory I will never forget. Another reason I mentioned before that I'm a student of wildlife ecology. So I'm really interested in learning about the animals that live here in our state, in our region. And truly one of the best ways to learn about wildlife is to get your hind end outside and see what's going on in the woods. And I've seen some of the most amazing things sitting in the woods quietly while hunting. And you know, it's great to go out and sit and look around and see what's happening. But realistically, I probably wouldn't just wander out into the backyard and sit against a tree and watch if it weren't for the possibility of maybe taking some game home with me. So not all of my hunts are successful from the perspective of bagging something, but by trying to bag something, I end up spending a heck of a lot of time outdoors and seeing some really interesting things. And many of those things have nothing to do with the animals I'm trying to actually harvest. But you'll see hawks catching squirrels, and you'll see coyotes running through, carrying rabbits in their mouths, all those sorts of things that you would never witness if you weren't out there trying to hunt. So that's a big part of it. I'm also very interested in our evolution as a species, and historically there's no doubt that we were predators. We're the predator, really. We're a top predator. If you look at our teeth, we're made to eat meat. We're omnivores. As I've become more of a hunter and spent more time hunting, you can really feel your instincts take over when you're in the field trying to put some game in the freezer. The sounds are sharper, the sights are crisper, the smells are more evident when you're out hunting. It's like your mind takes over and you're back to your caveman days, sort of. It's really a difficult thing to describe for people who haven't experienced it, but getting back into touch with my roots as a human being is a big part of it. More recently, as a hunter, I've been trying to get other people involved in hunting, and that's become a big passion of mine. I've become certified as a hunter safety instructor, and teaching those classes has been a lot of fun, and getting young people out into the field for the first time has been a lot of fun, and taking college comrades of mine who have never hunted before out and showing them what that's all about. That's another big reason that I'm hunting now. I'm at the point in my life where I don't own land yet. I'm renting a house, but I've developed some great relationships with landowners through being able to hunt on their property. So, as you can see, it's really a pretty long list, but ultimately what it boils down to is fostering my connection with the natural world, with the animals that I hunt, which I care deeply about, with the land that I hunt on, which I also care deeply about, and with the people that I care greatly about. And that includes feeding them delicious wild game, and it includes spending great time outdoors with them. So it's a really complex answer, and I've only touched on a few of the reasons here today, but hopefully you give it a try, because once you give it a whirl, I think you'll probably become addicted the way I have.